and again, love is love. And again, I have no idea what it would be like to grow up in a male body, but feel like I need to be a woman and have to go through. I mean, the societal pressures and God, the process these people have to go to switch genders. I mean, God damn, like more power to you. I seriously respect the shit out of that.
Oh, that's definitely some commitment.
Yeah. I mean, anyways, I'm
definitely
go
some
there.
commitment.
But anyway, so interesting story because it hits a lot of different industries and topics and I mean, sports to occupation, you know, the whole thing about, I mean, here's the other thing here's another interesting question. It has nothing, kind of something to do with this, but the old adage that women are paid, what, 70 or 80 cents on the dollar compared to men, like, well, maybe that'll help.
See, and I've still never agreed with that. I think it's the best person for the job. Well,
it should be that, but it absolutely should be that. But if you got two people who have the exact same job, the exact same qualifications, the exact same skills, and their performance is the same, they should be making the same amount of money no matter what's between their thighs.
Agreed.
But now you have the situation where you have, you know, maybe you got a corporate exec that he's doing his thing for 30 years, and all of a sudden, instead of Ken, he's Kim. And Kim comes to work after, you know, all that process and all that stuff, with all due respect. Ken was making $250,000 a year as a marketing CF or whatever, CMO or something, and now he's still going to make $250,000 a year. Well, that's going to, I mean, that might help boost income, may help things be more equal from the income standpoint. I don't know. There's a lot of implications with the transgender movement, I guess is what I'll call it, or whatever, you know, and I think there's going to be a lot of positives. There's a lot of gray area that's going to have to get ironed out, and this is just one of many examples. So, you know, what are you fucking laughing about?
Gray area that has to be ironed out.
Well,
seems like a metaphor for actually the
ironing. Oh, like your balls.
Yeah, like gotta get rid of these. Got to flatten these out.
Miss Netherlands doesn't have that problem anymore.
No, she does not.
I bet she's got a perfect little, you know, thing there going on.
You're done.
I don't want to. I'm done. Okay. So we're talking about some good stories today, but we probably need to get into our topic of the day. Yeah. And you know, as Andy mentioned earlier, you know, we wanted to do an episode around kind of getting to know your co-hosts here, right? Getting to know the people who are doing this podcast. And
it's also going to be interesting to see if we can kind of guess what each other's answers are.
Yeah.
How well we actually know each other after 20 years.
Well, and we're so similar in thought processes most of the time, you know, when I'm right, of course, but when you're wrong, I'm still right. But anyways,
it's like a marriage. You're just like a woman.
Yeah, but we just don't sleep together nearly enough. So I guess that is like a marriage. But at any rate, so
that just hit. Sorry.
Yeah.
I'm like I normally do. Another marriage thing. Yep, I was listening, but I wasn't hearing you.
It's like we've been married for 20 years, folks. Bastard. Don't ever listen to me unless my legs are spread.
You don't take me on date nights anymore, and all you want to do is just make me go to bed with you.
Yes.
Okay.
So the topic of the day, podcasters, right? We're going to get to know each other a little bit more. Actually, this is more about you guys getting to know us, but this will be interesting. So Andy and I have both separately and without any kind of preparation come up with several questions. We're going to hit on, I don't know, 4 or 5 each maybe. And
we're lovingly trusting.
We're lovingly trusting each other here. And this may turn into a shit show quick.
Most embarrassing person that you've ever had a crush on?
The most embarrassing person I've ever had a crush on.
Yeah. So it could be like a famous person or
it
could be
like someone where I'm like, well, I got a crush on this person, but I really don't want to meet
I don't want anybody to know who it is.
Well, Stephen Hawking is dead now, so I can't count him.
You can't suck knowledge out of someone.
If I could.
He wouldn't have felt it anyway.
I'm going to come.
I would like to talk to you.
And as soon as he's done, like the windows close off sign, you know. Trash cycle.
Right there.
Right. I'm going to trash cycle bin emptied.
Okay.
Okay. The most embarrassing public figure that I've ever had a crush on. I would say, I don't know about most embarrassing, but I would bathe in a pool of Melissa McCarthy's laughs just to get to the source.
You have a thing for Melissa McCarthy?
Well, I mean, she's a little bit bigger girl. I mean, she's thinned down.
Oh, she has.
Kind of going back to the shit we've talked about in the past, man, humor, attitude.
Absolutely.
And she's to me, beautiful woman.
She is. I mean, I'm not going to say that I have watched
beautiful
it and
woman.
Been like,
don't give a shit about the curves, the size. I mean, hell, more cushion for the pushing and junk in the trunk. Bring it on. But it's a personality thing for me. So I don't know if that's embarrassing. Now, Putin. Oh, okay. I wish. You ever see that picture of him riding a horse bareback? I wish I was a fucking Clydesdale.
We're done with that question now.
Well,
I'll answer this question.
Yeah, I answer that same question.
So it was back in, I don't know how old you were, probably like 6 months old. This was 1985.
I would have been
84
or 4.
84, 85.
Okay.
Olympics. I think it was 84. It was either the 80 or the 84. I can't remember.
I think I know where you're going with this, but go ahead.
No, you probably don't.
I may not.
Summer Olympics. Mary Lou Retton. I had a thing for Mary Lou Retton, this little short gymnast with the pixie haircut, and I'm like entering my prepubescent stages.
Are you ever going to exit your prepubescent stage? You fucking horny bastard.
I'm just now in a pubescent stage. I'm not prepubescent anymore. You know what? And I think that may have actually been like my first famous person. Like, man.
Okay.
I liked her a lot.
Yeah. So I wasn't thinking that far back.
Oh, sorry.
But no, you're fine. You're fine. Do you remember, and honestly, kind of around the same lines, and this is a little bit not answering your question, but who was it? Christy Yamaguchi. It just came to mind.
The figure skater. Have you watched Blades of Glory?
Blades of Glory is awesome.
He's got one for Oksana. He's got one for Christy Yamaguchi.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Okay.
Okay, your turn.
My turn. All right. What's the funniest place you've ever fallen asleep?
The funniest place I've fallen asleep.
Or funny story around falling asleep.
I really don't know that I've like woken up in any strange. Well, yeah. Okay, that's not the question.
It could be the answer.
But I can't think of a place that I've ever. I mean, of course, I've fallen asleep at the airport. Which is not necessarily a funny thing. Well, I guess it can be.
It can be.
You fall asleep at the airport.
That's my story.
Or what got you there? Yeah, funny places I've fallen asleep. I've fallen asleep. I can remember falling asleep one time, like in the barn when I was supposed to be working, and was snoozing on top of the hay. Top of the hay. I can't think of any place I've ever had like a really funny place that I've fallen asleep. What about you?
Oh, I got a great story about. I've always got great fucking stories about shit. So my buddy Rick and I at the time, best friend of mine for many, 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 many years, decades really. We go on this epic man trip to Sri Lanka and Nepal. Ooh, wow. That was fun.
You're pretty exotic.
Well, at times. Personal and professionally. But anyways, so one of our stops was in Doha, Qatar. And it was a layover, right? It took a million fucking hours to get to the goddamn Sri Lanka. Little tiny island off the southeast coast of India. Anyways, we get to Doha, Qatar airport. Beautiful airport, by the way. Doha, Qatar, for those that are not social studies inclined, is in we'll call it the Middle East. Okay.
Is it Qatar? Is it outside of Qatar?
It's
in the United Arab Emirates.
Well, Qatar and the UAE are two different things.
Oh, are they? I thought it was.
Yeah, Qatar is a country.
I thought it was part of the UAE.
It all runs together for me too, but I believe. Yeah, no, you're fine. We'll say yes because that's our upbringing in the West. Okay, so we land in Qatar. It's 10 o'clock at night, whatever, and trying to get something to eat. Exhausted. We've already been traveling for fucking a long time.
Oh, I'm sure that's gonna be a hell of a flight.
There's this place on the east side of this giant airport building, beautiful floor-to-ceiling windows, okay? 10 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock at night. We're tired as hell. We don't have to leave until like 9 o'clock the next morning, so we're thinking, let's get a nap. And I'm thinking, I'm going to pull up the softest piece of marble in this on the floor in this fucking airport, and I'm going to sleep, and it's going to be great. Well, there's this area that's a sleeping lounge. And you check in, here's your passport or boarding pass or whatever, and they've got these beautiful chaise lounges. And
don't see many of those in the States.
No. Dude, travel in other countries, for people who have never traveled in other countries, with some exceptions, trust me, way better experience. The airplanes are better, the experiences are better, the food's better. Traveling domestically in the United States is a difference of going to Nordstrom's and Walmart. Casey's.
Oh, it's even worse than Walmart.
I mean, it's...
Is this a paid thing? Or it's just... Well, like if that was in the United States...
No, it's totally free.
You'd have to either be part of like the...
Yeah.
I was going to say the Mile High Club. You'd have to be part of like the... You'd have to be part of like the premier...
Now that you've had sex at 35,000 feet, you probably need a nap. So no, it was totally free. So you go check in and you tell the guy, with a burqa on, hey, here's my,
Wake me up in an hour.
No. So we go in there, it's packed. There's probably 70, 80 of these chaise lounges, all separated by 6 feet. There's several different rows of these things. Me and my buddy, we get next to each other, whatever. I'm out. Hardcore. Okay. I wake up 7 o'clock in the morning, looking around, panty to the right, panty to the left, looking for my buddy. Rick's not there. I have no idea what the hell's going on. I look several rows back behind me. He's in a chaise lounge, just wide awake, staring me down. I'm like,
and you started next to each other.
We did, and the place was packed. Okay, well, now it's 7:30 in the morning. Sun's up, beautiful sunrise, 20-foot tall, floor-to-ceiling windows facing the east, of course, because the prairie stuff and all that crap. Yeah. Stuff, excuse me, not crap. Yeah. At any rate, I go back to him, and I'm like, gosh, it must have been a lot of busy, air traffic this morning and people leaving to travel because this place was packed, when we fell asleep last night. And he looks at me with, I guess I would describe it as somewhere between disdain and contempt.
Oh.
And he goes, that's not why people fled this place within about half an hour after you fell asleep. And I'm like,
what did you do while you were sleeping?
Shit. He goes, and his voice is hoarse, which I don't know why. He goes, Matt, I tried to mimic the sound coming out of your face hole. And I have a sore voice now. I have a sore throat because of that attempt. Apparently, I had cleared out the Doha, Qatar airport sleeping lounge with my massive Midwest white privilege snoring in this 220-pound frame body of mine. So that is my falling asleep story. That was a long story, as they always are.
Was this like pre-good video, cell phone video availability? That would have been awesome.
I mean, it would have been 2012. So, I mean, it would have been.
Your buddy didn't even have the. Didn't even have the courtesy to stay there with you, or like try to wake you up. He just left with everyone else and got the hell away.
Well, no, he stayed in the sleeping area. He just went a few rows back.
I'm talking about next to you. He's like, I don't want to be associated with this asshole at all.
Maybe that's why we're not friends today.
Snore machine.
No, but at any rate, I am. So. But that was a good question. All right, Amy, let's throw it back over to you.
Yeah, I've got a couple here that I want to get them in because I know we're running short on time.
No, we're good.
If you got paid for bad behavior, what habit would make you a fortune besides snoring in the Qatar airport?
So whenever you repeat the question that's asked to you, that is the opportunity for your brain to process and come up with bullshit. But I'm not going to come up with bullshit. So the question is, if there was a bad habit that I could repeat every day or more often or whatever that would make me a fortune, what would it be? Oh, God, I don't know. I mean, I'd like to say masturbating, but I don't call that a bad habit.
We need some Jeopardy theme music in there.
No shit, right? A bad habit. Man, these are deep. If it can make me a fortune, the most awkward bad habit, I mean, I guess I'd say being disorganized. I don't have a good answer for that one.
Yeah, I think mine would be like going to bed at 10 and binge watching until 2.
Oh.
That's a terrible habit I have.
Oh, terrible I watch habit. TV at night too.
Terrible habit.
It's horribly not healthy. Yeah,
more often than not, when I wake up in the morning, my TV is still going.
All right, so I think I need to ask you a question.
It's your turn.
I'm going to ask you a question now. Okay, here we go. Oh, this will be a good back and forth. Oh yeah.
I've been nervous about this for like 48 hours.
I have too, because I have so much ADHD. I have to prep. Otherwise, I get anxious as fuck.
So Matt sends me a text the other day. And he goes, "Okay."
Shut the fuck.
This is how I read Matt's text. Okay. So we need to talk about these questions because I had made a point we were not going to see one another's questions, and he's like, "Okay, so." Why don't I send you my list of questions? You send me your list of questions. We'll just at least know what questions are on the table, but you don't have to tell which one. That way we can at least kind of prep for some of the answers. We'll know what the questions are, but we won't know which questions you're going to ask. I'm like, nope. That was my only reply to that.
and that is exactly how that text exchange went down.
And I knew his ADHD, OCD, like needing to prep that. He's like, and I'm like, no, dude, this is why I want to do it. So again, this started out of us having phone conversations that we need to turn to podcast, and we don't want to script things.
Oh shit, you got me chipmunky now.
Yeah, exactly. We don't want to script things. We want it to have a natural flow.
That's funny shit.
So anyway,
all right. Here's my question:
yeah.
If your hometown was a food, what food would it be? Do we mention what your hometown is?
You're trying to trap me.
No, I'm not trying shit. I am trapping you. But dude, you're gonna love my fucking answer.
First of all, I can tell you what yours is. You want me to answer what yours is, and here's the deal. I'll answer what yours is. Okay. You answer what mine is.
Mine's gonna be racist as hell.
Well, then you get to do it. So if Matt's hometown was a food.
If you get this right, I will be mostly surprised, but a little bit not.
Read the question again.
If your hometown was a food, what food would it be?
If Matt's hometown was a food, it would be caviar, cavassier, filet mignon, and a side of I'm a little bit better than where you live.
Asshole.
What did you think of it? What was the thing of yours that you would...
For my hometown?
Yeah, that you were expecting.
Easy. Ready?
Yeah.
White bread.
Damn, why didn't I think of that?
That's pretty fucking good.
It was good.
Okay, so now I get to assume. You need to lock in your answer. Do I
have to share my answer?
You have to share.
Okay, I'm going to with you.
No, you're going to share that shit here.
Oh,
man. Food, and honestly, like
the actual part of the town I grew up in.
The question is, for the Riris to my right stage.
Well, there's a big difference between the east side of my town and the west.
Hometown, however you want to call that, was a food. What would the food be? I have an answer. And it's not nearly as shitty as your answer was about me. But one food, not a litany, not a fucking
one,
potluck dinner.
I've got three.
What food?
Well, that's just food.
Okay. You get to pick one food. Mine was white bread.
And I gave you
You gave me several fucking shitty things.
This is bullshit. I'm not going to lie right now. Because you're totally trapping me into a situation that I do not appreciate right now. But that's okay.
Buckle up, Buttercup.
What's yours for my hometown?
Nope, that's not how this... Okay, no, it is how this one works. Barbecue. See, look at me. I was going to say chitlins or like collard greens or some racist shit like that.
So mine was, as you were saying one word, I was like, barbecue.
Love. This right here, love. This right here is all love.
Right, because it's a
but what I got back was bullshit.
Was a politically correct. I gave you an authentic answer.
I gave you my authentic answer too, and I was fucking right because I'm a nice guy.
It spells, saying white bread does spell out.
Now, however, I will say it has to be WIC approved.
The barbecue?
The barbecue. Jeez. You have to be able to accept EBT.
Okay. You went out on your own there. You went out on a limb on that.
I may cut that part out. Okay, I think it's your turn.
Please put at Matt at Barstool Breakdowns when you comment. Here's one for you.
All right.
If they could talk.
Oh, God.
What kind of secrets could your dog spill?
Ooh, poor Lulu. That young lady has seen some shit. What? Ask me the question again.
If your dog could talk. Start again. If she could talk, what kind of secrets could your dog spill?
Yeah, now you've got me trapped in a bit of a conundrum here. Do I answer the question or plead the fifth and save face? What kind of...
Do you want me to guess this time on what kind of secrets Lulu could spill? This is not safe for office.
Can you hear my butthole clamping shut in anxiety?
This is an NSO question. Okay. We should have said at the beginning that we would give each other 1/5 or one mulligan. Or God. One... No. One pass.
I'll answer it, okay. but I'm curious what do you think my dog Lulu would say?
Matt, you do not want me to talk about this.
Do I not?
Probably not.
I was going to say, why is there a different car in the parking lot overnight every other week?
Okay, that's a nice summary of what my answer is.
I wondered.
There's another one too, but we're not going to talk about it.
No, go ahead. I can always cut it out. No, what were you going to say?
That was funny.
That's getting hard cut.
I can't remember shit.
Well, she's kind of a dumb bitch. Okay. All right, here you go. Tell a story about a time you felt super old. What happened?
I actually have a few of these. So I think the first time it happened is my daughter was a sophomore in high school, and I had to go in and meet with the principal. And the principal walks in, and it was Dr. Principal. So I'm thinking, he looked like he was about 18 years old. And I'm like, seriously?
At your daughter's school?
Yeah, at the high school. He was the principal.
Wow, okay.
Dr. Principal, won't say his name, literally looked like he was like 18 years old. And I'm sitting there thinking, what in the hell is happening here? I mean, are you not following me?
I am.
Okay. It was just everybody is starting to, that's now entered the workforce that I've grown up watching these kids.
Oh, right. They're all looking like Doogie Howser these days.
Yeah. And it's just like, holy smokes. Doctor's office has been that, not our current doctor that you and I both see, but medical staff, teachers, administrators, education administrators, some people that I work with, like clients that I call on, are looking younger and younger. And I can remember the day when I was the young guy. And I still kind of feel that way.
That was a really long time ago.
It was. I'm a veteran now.
Yeah, you are a veteran now.
I don't know. That wasn't a very fun answer, but
no, it's okay.
It's the truth.
No, I get you. There's been lots of circumstances in my life where I have come into a scenario, a scene, if you will, and gone, ooh, fuck, I'm the old guy here.
Or sometimes when I see people that I went to school with that I know are my own age.
Oh,
and I look at them and I'm like, hey. And I'm thinking the entire time in my mind, do I have this false impression of myself when I look in the mirror, and are people saying the same stuff to me when they run into me? Because I've seen, there's been some, I won't say, of course, who, but there have been several that I've been like, one, didn't recognize.
Right.
Two, that's just been like, holy shit. Like, what the fuck happened to you?
Right. Yeah.
But then I've got one. He's actually going to be on the show here in a couple of weeks. His name is Gluten Free Dave. I'll do a little plug there for Gluten Free Dave.
Gluten Free Dave.
Go on to Instagram. Dave looks like he just graduated high school.
Well, because he doesn't know what flour is. That's why.
That could be
fucking asshole.
He's not. Nothing processed.
I haven't had a carb since the Carter era. Well, no shit, your abs have abs.
Dave has no gray hair. It's still black. Dave has no gray hair.
How old's this guy?
We're 52.
Well, don't say we're. I'm not, but you guys are. Okay, gotcha. All right.
So it's funny because, and this is really getting off the subject again, which I have a tendency to do.